I also will be standing because I don't fit into chairs. My body just decided we're not doing chairs anymore. That is not what I'm here to talk about. Completely different disability story. So I got fired a lot for just random stuff. Just the most, I didn't understand time cards, and one time, and then another time I was eating at my desk instead of in the cafeteria, and that was it. I don't know. Just a whole bunch of different stuff. So there was no like pattern to it, or like something I could learn from to do better next time. Turns out I was undiagnosed autism. It's like speaking a language that sounds like English, but isn't. So you think you're on the same page as everybody, but then you're not. And then you're fired. It was very confusing and anxiety provoking. And eventually it got to, we're just going to an interview would cause a panic attack because I figured, like best case, I get the job and it'll just be an opportunity for them to find some interesting new way to fire me. I went on disability. Disability. And I started volunteering for an autism group in a nonprofit called AANE, which at the time stood for Asperger's Association of New England. Doesn't stand for that anymore, it stands for something else, but the domain, they already own the domain, so it has the same letters. But they were great for so it's like a mix of volunteers on the spectrum and social workers who were really good at working with people on the spectrum, so it's kind of like a master class in learning verbal recognition, verbal cues kind of stuff, because you had the social workers who were really patient, and then the other people on the spectrum that you could observe from the outside. And anyway, so I was like, hey, you probably shouldn't do what he's doing at work. I don't know. So I felt like I was ready to try employment again, but I still had the underlying anxiety, and I'd been out of work for a few years, and it's tech. It's kind of like taking a 5-year break from tech. It's like waking up from, after an ice age and saying what happened to all the pterodactyls. By the way, at my autistic gigs, the pterodactyl joke kills. Anyway, so Social Security actually has a program specifically for people who are on disability, who are trying to get off of disability, and it's called Ticket to Work. They actually have a website, which is choosework.ssa.gov, which is a fun term because it sounds like it's a choice, and it's not like their first choice URL was taken because it's a subdomain, so it's .ssa.gov, which means they could have chosen anything. So they chose to imply that we're making a choice. Anyway, just a side note. I tried a lot of different resources from them, and it felt like it was designed for other people. Just a lot of other very specific, but just not me. They set me up with a job coach from an organization that specialized in traumatic brain injury, which is cool, but interestingly, not me. So it was a lot of that kind of, just not quite lining up. Even though they were trying, I was trying. Eventually I kind of gave up, and then I got a call from somebody who found my resume on Indeed. They were actually looking for somebody who was familiar with old stuff, and that was me. So they made this archaic website management stuff, and they had mostly clients who were, not hotbeds of technology. Like they had some federal agencies, they had some medium-sized cities. They had actually the county of Cork, Ireland, which is random. So I started working for them, learning their archaic software, and they had this one contract that it had been a hostile takeover, which is a thing that happens in federal contracts. If you're not familiar with the world of federal contracting, congratulations. It does not instill hope in humanity. But one federal contractor had swooped in and underbid this other one, and there was a protracted legal battle, and then the new one won. And then the old one said, okay, well, in that case, all of our documentation is proprietary, which is, translates to, oh, cool new contract you got. Good luck figuring it out. So anyway, that's what I did for about a year and a half. Reverse engineering the website, migrating it to the cloud, and surviving a federal security audit, all by trial and terror, because as my boss reminded me on multiple occasions, due to the sensitivity of the information, there was a non-zero chance that any mistake could lead to a data breach resulting in a congressional investigation. So anyway, that let me put my previous anxiety in a whole new light. But it worked. We got it. I got it working. It switched over in April of 2022. No problems. It is still up and running. I can give you the address if you want to check it out. It is choosework.ssa.gov.